Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Mercy TV Live. You know, do you have some questions about some medical cannabis or the plant itself, how to cook it? You know, we have so many people asking so many things.
And we have the Oregon Cannabis Connection. This is the recent issue. It has interesting stories dealing with cannabis worldwide and in the state of Oregon. And it has recipes for edibles.
And that's really good because a lot of people do not like smoking and don't want to smoke, and that's fine because there's a lot of ways to use cannabis.
Yes.
Eating is one of them. Eating is one of them, vaporizing, and also
making butter.
Well, and using the butter in all the ways that people can use it.
So, say you have a crock pot. You got some wood quality cannabis leaf or bud. It's better if it's all bud. You put it into a crock pot. You fill about halfway with the cannabis product. Then when you're filling the cannabis into this crock pot, you're slicing the butter. You don't want to use more butter because you reduce the strength of the butter. So you might use 1 or 2 sticks. And you would experiment if you get to do this a lot. But you put it all together. You fill about this much up with water on top of the cannabis product. And you had layered the butter with the cannabis, and you have the water there. You put the crock pot on low. And in an hour, you would stir it up. You just want the water to just bubble here and there.
Well, it's like a simmer, and you just want it simmering because you don't want to overheat it. And a lot of people have a lot of different ways to do this. And when you see people and hear people talking and using different products, you know what? It's not that their way is right or wrong, or that this other person's way is right or wrong. Everybody has a way to do things. What you'll find out is there's a lot of different ways to do things. And when you're using different medicines and when you're using different products, different kinds of quality of products, along with the medicine itself, all make different, that's what the end result comes out different.
So now 24 hours went past, and you have this thing, and you've been stirring it on occasion. You would take it out, and now you're going to strain it. You want to get all the product, the water, moisture out of that using a cheesecloth, a stocking, a wine press, and that. You're all putting it in there, into the water. You're just squeezing it back into the water. You take everything out of the water, all the product, all the leaf or the bud that you had used, and you squeeze it through the wine press or through your hands. But you gotta get all the moisture out of the product.
Well, that's where all of it's going to be sitting. All of your butter is going to be sitting in the product itself. And when Pete's telling you about squeezing it, that's where all of it's going to be, is in the product. So you have to separate that. By squeezing it will allow it to come out, and then when it sets up overnight, because that's what you'll do.
Well, so you got the one container that you squeezed all your butter, all the product in. Now you pour it into another clean container through another screen. So you're getting all the product that out of the water. And then you put that into the refrigerator or in a cool place that you know your pets aren't going to tamper with it. You have the stuff that you squeezed. You put that out on a screen, and you have that away from the animals or your children. And you can mix that in with your flour. So you have canned flour. Overnight, you come back to your pan, and you have this chunk of butter floating on top of the water. That is your product. And there's many, many uses for that in your recipes where it calls for butter. If you even have a little butter tray that you would keep in your refrigerator, you have a chunk on that. So you and Granny can have some toast with your tea.
Well, and that's very important.
And you would
The
add
toast.
a little cinnamon to help disguise the taste of the cannabis if you have a strong.
That's so easy, is by just putting a little butter on a piece of toast.
Yes. And you're ingesting it. And ingesting it is helping your internal organs to receive the cannabis product. And it'll build up, and you need to build a level.
Well, that's the blood level, because after time, you need to do this every day, because it's just like the pills the doctor feeds you. If you do cannabis every day for a few days, 7 to 10 days, that gives you a therapeutic blood level. And it probably don't even take that long, but you have to do it. You have to do it. You keep doing it, and it will work for your system and build up your immune system and other things.
And hey, if you did it this one time, that's going to help. In my Tuesday crew at church, my friend had a cancer spot on his wrist or forearm, and I put my healing oil on it. 2 weeks later, the darkness of the spot is fading away. And like other people taking a shot of the oil, they can get rid of their psoriasis as well. And we can have testimonials on the YouTube account about amazing things.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of things like what Pete's talking that others know, and that like we need to get out there so that people understand that cannabis is good medicine. There's like people in the hospital. We always like to say hi to the people in the hospital, because, you know, those people, nobody understands what they're going through. The treatments, the conditions, the side effects, the trips they've been on.
The pharmaceutical drugs that they're being experimented with.
Well, see, and does everybody know that we have people in the hospital being experimented on with drugs? Sure, it's cool if it ain't you.
Yeah. The doctors are trying to cure you, but they're using you as a guinea pig.
Well, and sometimes they have to do that to get other things. I understand that. But cannabis really does very good for a lot of conditions. And that's what I need to get out, is that the people in the hospital, if you haven't talked to your doctor, if you haven't talked to your family, if you haven't talked to your nurses, please take the time, ask them if cannabis might be able to be a part. Well, because you don't know if it might help you with some of the things you're dealing with, and that's what's so beautiful.
Okay, so simply we explained how to make canna butter and canna flour. And so now you got this water. We're going to make canna iced tea. And you put a few bags of ice or tea bags into the water that's in a glass jar. And you can make sun tea with this. And this, you may, like with any other teas, you may add sugar and maybe a little cinnamon or whatever your tea bag is. But there's 3 things that you use that product for. And these are all edibles. And you imagine if we lived before 1937, we would have had all these products in the farm drugstore.
Well, and it's all going that way today. We have so much that we're learning about the cannabis, and what we need to do is keep focused that there are a lot of patients out there, and if you are a patient, keeping your card is important. A lot of people are coming in and talking about this. It's that they're having a hard time keeping their cards. It seems to be a struggle for everybody.
It's a big scam of the the government charging the public to have their medicine, to be able to hold. But I have a wallet. I hold that wallet. Produce. That's another thing. No, just hold on. No, I got a set of keys that I always have with me. No, there shouldn't be a tax on it. I mean, our forefathers, they threw tea off the ship. The timber industry was in a great interest in that. The farmers had to put 1/3 of their property in the product of growing hemp. There's tobacco and hemp. What do you think your forefathers smoked more of? Because they didn't get in trouble walking down the street or riding in their carriages.
Well, now, a big thing is that everybody's concerned with the legalization, that they're going to have a card.
Yes, and that's all fine and dandy for the general public. But the patients find relief with cannabis instead of pharmaceutical drugs. And you tell me cannabis doesn't hurt nothing. Pharmaceutical drugs, they may have multiple side effects to your internal organs. And what are you living on? We all breathe the same air.
You know, that's the biggest thing, is that there's so many side effects to all these pills. Cannabis doesn't really have any side effects for people, except maybe eating and sleeping. And both those are very good for most of the people, because the people that are sick usually don't get any sleep and usually don't get to eat because they're nauseated.
The quality of life of pain relief. I wish our patient C, Connie, would call because she loves the pancakes that the baker does
Oh, yeah.
and the cookies that she eats.
Well, she gets a lot of relief and gets a lot of motivation and gets a lot of things out of it where others that haven't used it or tried it yet will hopefully get a chance to see that, you know what, cannabis is a good alternative medicine.
Yes. And
That's what we're trying to do, is let everybody know that cannabis is a good medicine, that people are out here trying to share it, that there is more than a lot of people are trying to do this thing with the legalization and recreational, and that's all good. But we need to keep focused on that. You know what? There's people that are sick, and that we need to let them know that, you know what, cannabis can help them.
yes, this is why we need to have your cannabis card so you have the opportunity of growing your own medicine,
Right.
either yourself or with a skilled grower. And hopefully you can meet that through the Mercy Center. And we're open 5 days a week. We have a Wednesday night class, or not class, but a meeting uh, where patients and growers, and there's excess medicine. Um, we're here to help you get your card in any way that we possibly can. Except we need your finances hitting that PayPal,
Right.
and because we're just patients helping patients. Daddy Warbucks hasn't come by and said, "Hey, I see you're doing a good job. Here, can we help you out?"
Well, we could use some help. That's what Pete's trying to say. Uh, we are a private or public. We're all done. All of us, the patients, are the ones that do it. Because
And
nobody else is going to help us. We, the patients, have to look out for each other and take out. Well, because everybody else is too busy doing other things.
so you mentioned the general public. This last Monday, I went to their meeting, and oh God. So it's all great, but they voted on many things. They gave us 3 cards. One was green, one was yellow, one was red. Red is no, green is yes, and so there was full hall, and a lot of different people there. And this is all talking, this is the old LCC?
OLCC, yes.
Yeah. So this is the liquor thing. One good thing that they decided was that they weren't going to sell the cannabis from a liquor store. The cannabis was going to have their own private little shop, and where you could get papers or different pipe units.
When you taped all this, correct?
Yes, and it'll be on the air pretty soon. I signed the contract, so you'll see it on CCTV and on YouTube. Um, we're very happy or glad that the public broadcasting system, CCTV, Channel 23, Comcast, is letting us tape this thing so the public can see the sheet that is pulled over your eyes.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on with it. A lot of people don't have time I mean, everybody don't have time. So the things that we get a chance to go out and tape, we will. And it's usually on the YouTube channels, right? And
Yeah.
get that off of the website. Just go to the mercycenter.org and you can click on the website on the TV and that'll get you to it. Those shows have a lot of information on them themselves. They got past meetings of all kinds.
Yep. And our fearless leader, Perry, sorry that you're not here. You're in our hearts. And he got a job. He's paying taxes again. And his old lady's smiling.
So the main thing is this. We have a lot of things going on in today with the cannabis world. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of information out there. Just know that there's people that, do you need your card? Do you need to help with the paperwork? You know?
Excess medicine.
Oh yeah, is there people looking to get some help? Well, because a lot of people are out there hurting.
Yep. And if you have any gardening questions, give us a call. Come by the office. I'm there sometime after 4:30, 4:20 actually. But we're here as your friends.
There's a lot of things going on out there, and what we're trying to do is make sure that there are people that have a place to go, and that, you know, if you need some help, because not everybody can run down and buy stuff and go out and buy stuff and do all that. What we're trying to do is make everybody more supportive of themselves and others to help each other. And then, you know, because then you know where your medicine's coming from. Everybody's talking about having all the testing and all of it done. Sure, you can do all that. A lot of people can't afford it. So wouldn't it be better if you know that he's growing it, or I'm growing it, or you're growing it, or your neighbor's growing it? At least we all know each other, and at least we all know where our medicine, you know, what we're doing with it and how we're growing it, because everybody knows.
But the one thing that made me mad about going to this meeting, I found out if a medical pharmacy, dispensary, they had to pay $4,000 to get their permits. Wouldn't you think that the regular Joe getting that permit would be more or less? And it turned out to be less, and that's $1,000 they pay. So that's a lot of difference, a lot of dead presidents.
They're really working on the medical, and the thing is that the patients need to be able to do the plants, do their extracts, because a lot of people do really good making their butters and oils. You know, that's the biggest thing. When you're a patient, you can do these butters and oil.
So please make sure you're a registered voter. Find out who's your district representative. Give them phone calls. Send them letters. Send them pictures. I mean, they have to know and see that cannabis is beneficial to the public.
Well, there's a lot of people that come in and say, who do I need to talk with? Well, that's who you need to talk with, is your legislator.
Yes, and we'll have different shows about the 30 bills that are going to be going through.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's probably going to be more. You know, the main thing is we just need to pay attention and look out for and cover for the patients.
Your mother, your father, your brother and sisters, your cousin, and Joe Ho Ho on the other side of the world. Cannabis is beneficial. We don't need to be lied to and be taxed fairly and the malarkey that the government has pulled.
That's a lot of things. What Pete is saying is so true. We have an office. It's open Monday through Friday, 12 to 6. If you need some help, please come by. There's people there all the time and answer some questions, help you fill out some paperwork.
We're here to take your donations too. Hate to say it like that, but
Yeah, if you can help donate, come on by.
I mean, Daddy Warbucks, please come by.
It would be cool. We're all going through bad times, and we all know this. That's why we all support each other. Looking out for each other will help all of us keep it going.
Excess medicine. If you need it, and you're a card holder, please come by the office. We can, or maybe not, but we would love to see your smiling face.
So that's the main thing. If you need some help, come on by, and there's always so many different patients there. Everybody's always very helpful.
And thanks for Sam. He was in town today, and he goes from Netarts to make his monthly visit.
There's lots of things going on with the medical cannabis community, and if you haven't got it yet, please come by. We can help you get it, or maybe you know somebody that would like to get it. You know, there's a lot of different information out there, but not a lot of people are getting the help they need, Pete.
Yep. So regular Joe, he can grow 4 plants on his property. That's all the plants that he can. His wife, his son.
Next Friday, are you going to be here?
I hope so.
Well, you know, we hope to see everybody here next week. And, you know, thank you.
It's getting close.
Thank you to all of our crew and staff. And Lance, thank you for all your help, bro. And
we're behind the Graver Insurance Building. And we do know Agent 420 if you need help in that situation. And he has helped several different dispensaries in the neighborhood. We need you to be registered. Talk to your representatives.
So, same time, same station. We'll see you again next week on Mercy TV Live.
Call us.
See you again.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.